Okay, this is Aaron again with Exalted Lamb 1, and I have my latest video. Man, I'm excited to bring this to you. I really been going through a lot with this breaking of this code. It's massive, massive stuff, and it keeps coming up at this time frame with the iconic, unfortunately, 9, 1, and then 1, as we're all familiar with, unfortunately, if you've been around a little while. In fact, it's 22-year anniversary coming up. And I'm going to show how this has been what it was all along. And not only that, but 9/7. So let's get right into it. But I want to say first, before I do that, actually, all my whole timeline, I'm not going to hit each day on the timeline in this video, just to let you know that my whole timeline, August 31st, which is August 3 plus 1 is August 4th, like CKBO, the 44th president's birthday. That's the first day, or what I call the pre-day, and through September 15th. The timeline is pinned to the top of comments on this video. So you go through all the days and see the events that are going to happen. The events I'm predicting will happen. And again, most of those, if you're not familiar or don't know my videos, most of those I've literally seen visions or had dreams in the past of those events, and then the major events, other events, the massively major events like mega tsunamis hitting both coasts on the 11th and 12th day, being September, probably now. It's huge, just huge. And so over this over 5 years of doing videos on YouTube, and about 3 years before that, the Lord showed me with dreams and visions and things of what was coming. But I didn't think it would take this long, of course. And it finally come into fruition as far as breaking this code of what this is. And I'm going to show it to you. So, you be the judge, of course, like always. But, again, I'm always, I'm not saying for sure, even though right now I'm at a probably 99% that this is going to happen, because of the code breaking I'm going to show you here. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Also, if you want to get notifications about things I'm showing, even beyond when this stuff starts happening, sign up for Telegram. I'll have a link in the description box below as well for Telegram. It signs up through your phone and you get notifications. And again, YouTube, because I'm right over the target, could stop me from even uploading this video. I mean, if you're seeing this, obviously I've made it through, but it could, or pull it down at any time. So Telegram is going to be perfect for that, and you'll be able to, even if my videos pull down, you'll be able to get information and stuff from me through Telegram and all that. So I'll just let you know about that. So let's just go forward here. Okay, so again, I'm the Exalted Lamb 1. My Telegram, it shows Exalted Lamb 1, and my motto is having no part of the worthless deeds of darkness, but instead exposing them, like it says in Ephesians 5:11. Okay, I do not do any of this gematria and all that stuff. I don't use it for my daily life or anything like that. Just to make it clear to anybody who's naysaying or false prophet or numerologist or whatever that means. I mean, there's nothing wrong with numbers. God created numbers, and numerology is not a bad term. It's just the study of numbers and the understanding of what numbers are and what they do and everything like that. So it's all the heart of what these numbers are showing. It's all context. Context is huge about what numbers mean. For example, 666 is not evil. It's how it's used in context. Okay, when it's talking about Revelation 13:18, talking about trying to figure out who the man of sin is, or the beast, the number of the beast, and all that. That makes it evil. That makes it bad. But in general, the number is neither good nor evil, but unless it's put into context or the heart behind the situation and all that. Of course. But of course, ultra-religious people who don't know anything about anything, would falsely accuse anybody that doesn't fit their standards or doesn't fit their worldview or whatever, of course. So, if you have any negative things to say about on this channel, delete it in 2 seconds. Okay, that's it. So, don't even bother, because you'll be gone in 2 seconds. So, and then I like to always go over lately predictive programming. This is my definition of it. It's a subtle form of psychological conditioning woven into the fabric of all mass media, designed to subconsciously program and or consciously equate the public with pre-planned societal changes, ideas, or events. These changes, ideas, or events eventually become a reality, largely because the public over time has already become programmed and or familiarized with them, accepting them as natural progressions, thus eliminating virtually all possible public resistance, commotion, or investigation. Now, this is massive. So the elite that run the world, the 13 families, they've cloned a person, Stinky Bill, the 44th Pres, Barack Insane Obama, and he is basically about to take the throne. But there's going to be a lot of events that happen in the 16 days that's about to kick off. Okay, so before that happens, okay, and then puts him as this hero on the world stage against these bad aliens that are going to show up, and then the good aliens going to show up at the end, and he's going to save the day. It looks like he saves the day. It's all going to be a big farce, okay? And now let's get into the rule of Kal-El. The Kabbalistic rule of Kal-El states, this is in Freemasonry, by the way, as you see up there, it states that one digit can be added to or subtracted from the gematria value of a word without affecting its value. This seems to modern ears to be a cheat. However, the Kabbalists explain the rule by pointing out that for them, 1 was not a number. The Monan symbolizes the divinity and could come and go as he pleased, adding nothing and taking nothing away. So that's true. I'm pretty much just going to be taking 1 away. Or if I take 1 away, I'll add it from another, or take 1 away from one spot, I'll add another way. You'll see what I'm saying. I just put that up front so you know, hey, this is something they have and it's legal. Again, all this stuff that the enemy does, it's all legalities that, but they're hidden, in those legalities, what they can do and what they're revealing and what they're, how they're, putting one over on everybody, putting many over on everybody, everything. So let's keep going here. So I'm getting into these 2 buffoons ultimately because, of course, they'll be destroyed and thrown into the lake of fire. But they are equal and they are together. They are Tweedledum and Tweedledee. No, basically, as I've said, my title says, it's AntichristObama and FalseProphetFrancis, okay? And I'm going to basically prove that this is very far from coincidence, that they're numbers and symbols that I'm going to show. They're very far from coincidence how they put them together, and specific dates of their death and their so you have their death here, September 7th and 8th. And what that means is September 7th is when they both are going to die, okay? And then the 8th is when it's announced. That's when the big, so it probably could be late at night or something like that. Both of them, for some different reasons, are going to kick the bucket in the world's eyes. And then they're going to come back to life on this day right here, the day of the mega tsunamis. They hit both coasts. But most of the public won't know anything about it until they're revealed completely together on the 15th of September. Because there's a 7-day hiding, and I'll tell you about that here towards the end here. So, and I'm going to prove that with this. So in iPad Goat, there's a scene where the Antichrist figure is coming into the cathedral that later collapses, but this is a symbol of him going into the underworld when he dies. So he's entering the cathedral, similar to like Notre Dame or something like that, as you see the glass, or even it's symbolizing as well the Queen's death, because her casket was in a cathedral as well, Westminster Abbey, and that's what's symbolizing that as well. And I'm going to show you how this connects to her death as well. In fact, it's the same date, utterly, essentially, because she was reported dead on 9/8, but he's going to be the Pope and Obama are going to be dead on the 7th, and then reported on the 8th. So they're going to basically, that's why this is all telegraphed by her death a year before, okay? And then this, I'm going to prove this in this scene and many other things, numerology, symbols, and everything like that in this video. So here we go. So right there, okay, just assuming, just all, without getting into all the details right now and all the things I've done in previous videos, that the figure in, coming in is Obama, okay? But just assuming that right now, but you see the outline of the door that's coming in is literally the Pope's head plus his fish hat, his fish head hat, the God Dagon basically hat, and he's coming through. So it's showing they're both dying at the same time. So and I've shown how Obama equals this particular person in different ways, and he's featured in the video in the movie as well in the beginning, and then he graduates to become the Antichrist with this tassel going forward. And I've shared that many times in the past. But that is showing both of them, Obama being the figure and the Pope being the outline of the doorway going in and coming out. And I'll show you that in a second, okay? So, and then you see, I don't know if you can see this, but right here, there's a 1 right here. It's a big long, and then there's an 8 right here, a big 8. And there's a 1 and a 1 right here. And 1811 is right here. For a long time, I didn't know what that was. And I know it is a few things now. So one thing it is from September, from Revelation 12 sign to when the Queen died is 1811 days. There we go, 1811 days. And again, this represents the Queen's dead, and then she's in Westminster Abbey, and her coffin's in here, and representing that she died on this particular day, okay? So it also represents 1 plus 8 is 9, and then 1 and 1. So this is representing of his death. He's ending, him and the CKBO and the Pope on a Rope are basically entering into the afterlife, or the underworld, basically. In different mythologies, it's basically the underworld, or the river Styx, or whatever you want to call it. He's literally standing on the boat of Anubis, which is the kind of the gatekeeper for the underworld in Egyptian. In Egyptian mythology. So 9, 1, and then 1 is basically representing their life coming back, because they die on 9, 7, 9, 8, but they show opposites all the time. So there's stuff to indicate that this is their death, and I'm going to show that in a second when they're putting this upside down, and then show their life on the same thing. Life is death, death is life. So they're going to show life, come back to life on this date right here, and then now I'm going to show it upside down. Now I'll show this upside down, and again, 1, 1, 8, and 1, I've shared many times before, they're the same pretty much. Now, of course, you've got these little serifs and things like that on here, and then you got with an 8, you got a fat bottom, and with most 8s, not all 8s, and a smaller top. But when you turn them upside down and backwards, they are basically the same thing. But when they have serifs and stuff, it's just another way of hiding it. Or they have 2 different size shapes on the 8, then that's another way of hiding it. But ultimately, upside down and backwards is the same numbers, and that's what they are. Truly, okay? So we have 1, 1, 8, 1 right here. But then do you see this thing right here? This big fat thing? That's a P right there. Follow my cursor here. It's a P. It's a big fat P. And so P is 16. 1 plus 6, that's the P right there. 1 plus 6 is 7, okay? So now what do we have? We have 1, and then we have 1 plus 8 right here is 9, and they have 1 plus 7 is 8. So you have 1, 9, 8. Now what does this mean? Well, a couple of different ways they do this. 1 before any number can either add 1 to it or times it by 1, which makes it the same. That doesn't really help. Or subtract 1 from that number. Just like it is a Roman thing. Just like in Roman numerals, when you have an I or a 1 in front of an X or a V, it takes that 1 digit away. So I in front of X is 10, I before X is 9. So 1 from 10 is 9. Or I before V, 1 from V, which is 5, is 4. So it's either this, they use this and take that away from the whole term right here, the 2 together as a date, or it's meant 1 from just this number. Okay, I know it's weird, but you won't know unless you compare it to other things around it, see what it's saying. So, for example, in this case, it's 9/8. It's his death is 9/8. I mean, reported death is 9/8. 1 from 9/8 is 9/7. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully. So by putting a 1 there, or sometimes even put a 1 over here, you adding a 1 to that date, or you're basically taking 1 away by putting it in front. Or you just do the rule of color, just knock that out, and then it's 9/8 by itself. So you just get rid of that, it's 9/8. So basically what we have right here is 1 from 9/8 is 9/7, and or just take the 1 away and we have 9/8. So by looking at 198, we have 9/8 and 9/7. Hopefully that makes sense. And then of course over here upside down, or right side up, was 1811, or 9, 1, and then 1. And that's the 2 dates, like I showed you in the beginning here. Okay. And then here he's coming out, and again you can see it even more clearly. You see the ear I mean, it literally is almost exactly like him. I mean, it's just crazy. There's a little bit of nub here, like where the ear might be if you look at a little bit of a profile, whatever, but that's what it is. The Lord showed me this is absolutely what this is, and this is Stinky BO and this is him both coming out. So what's going to happen is when they both die on that day, okay, then there's going to be a huge uproar, and worldly, and the world's going to be, and we're already going into some kind of chaos already on the 5th day, and then the 7th and 8th day is you're adding to even more destruction, more things. Even on the 8th day, Trump is going to be killed in Manhattanville's, and all that stuff. So. That's going to be going on, and so we literally have the Pope and 2 presidents done. And again, it's also going to be tied as well to World War III's, saying that as well. So and all this stuff as well. So, but then what will happen is Stinky BO, Beelzebub Butthead will basically, just these names, he'll come back to life, lightning falling from heaven, Satan cast out of heaven, and it fall like lightning into Stinky BO's dead body, and then he will raise the Pope back to life. And however that actually happens, technically, who knows? I'm not gonna go there, but he's basically, and then on the 15th is gonna basically say, "Hey, I'm alive, and I brought him back to life, and I brought the Pope back to life." And so then at that point, the Pope's gonna be completely his prophet, and say, "Oh, he brought me back to life, and he's amazing, and he's the guy, and all this stuff, and he's probably the Christ, and all this stuff." Okay, so that's how this is going to work in a sense. Okay, so right here, and to even prove that even more, okay, this is where they come out of the cave here. Okay, again, they're coming out of the underworld. They're coming back to life, out into the world. And there's like a gargoyle / statue thing right here. Okay, and this could be called several things, but immediately identified this by a couple different things. And to show you how this and all these different things are tied to both of them, it's crazy. So the first thing is, this is a gargoyle. Okay, it's this creature, that's mounted on the wall in a sense above an entrance or something. They're put on churches, they're put on buildings. Gargoyles, obviously that's a gargoyle in some fashion. Okay, and so when you actually add these 2 numbers together, which is this is a way that the Lord is showing me how to crack this. Not only as English and reverse English, or most ciphers and their reverse, been the days, months, and years, or days and months and years, or whatever, or the day of the year and the year. It's also, he's showing me now that you add them together to reveal more things, and even prove things like incredibly. Okay, so this is crazy. So basically, gargoyle is 216. That is the day of the year that Stinky BO was born. The 44th press. No Obama. Okay, so 216th day of the year is August 4th. Now, even more specifically, this looks like a devil. Okay, so again, devil horns, ear, little fangs. It's a devil gargoyle. Okay, so let's look at devil gargoyle, for example. I mean, this could be a lot of different things. It's also frozen. You see icicles, so that's another thing I'm not going to get into right now, but that also connects these two as well. But look, devil gargoyle is what? When you add these two together, is 351. And believe it or not, that's why this is truly incredible, and I'm revealing this to you. The Lord has revealed this to me, and I'm revealing it to you. The 351 is the day of the year that the Pope was born. He was born on December 17th, 1936. December 17th is the 351st day of the year. And I'm going to show you a bunch of these where these two come together in iPad Goat, and more on other things. But and I'm going to touch on iPad Goat here and there. But I could share a lot more stuff. I literally have about 4 times the information to pull from that I'm giving you. But I've got to pick and choose because the Lord wants me to make a certain video about story about these two nuggets. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going here. And then, for example, Denver, yeah, devil gargoyle over cave. Okay, that's the description of this. Again, this is all these images even in a lot of movies and their dialogue and this stuff. It's gematria. They're promoting a subject behind the scenes, and they're programming you. That's what predictive programming is. It's symbols, it's numbers, it's all kinds of things programming you to what they ultimately want it to be. And that's what this is all about, control. So they can have ultimate control over every single person, and ultimately have everybody have something that marks them, and they can be controlled. Okay, that's ultimately what their goal is. And it's taken them a certain amount of time to get to this point, and they're almost there. Okay, so devil gargoyle over cave right here is this plus that. Now, these things are stuff by themselves, but I'm not going to get into that right now, okay? But this plus that is this, 567. Now, why does that matter? Now, let's say now we're going to minus from this the day of the year that Stinky BO was born, okay? And what's that going to get us? the day of the year that the Pope was born. And that's a massive coincidence? I think not. Okay, not at all, not at all. So this is all over the place and this stuff. And I pick going in and other things that the Lord's been showing me now. So I've cracked this code and it's opening up a whole new world. Okay, and so these two got together one time before this in the Vatican. Okay, in 2014, it was March 27, 2014. But then a little over a year later, well, a year and a half later almost, they got together in Washington, okay, at the White House and everything. And, you know, he spoke before Congress, which is just ridiculous and unheard of. And it was an event that was basically sealing the United States, sealing the fate of the United States, basically. The Lord told me this in a dream. He literally gave me a dream that United States would be destroyed in a certain amount of days, or it's not. He said that. Well, let me just tell you the dream. I should tell you the dream real quick because I haven't shared this in a while. Okay, so basically, me, my wife, and my little daughter at the time. This was back in 2015, August of 2015. Now we're coming on about 8 years now ago that this was. Okay, almost to the day. I'm just a couple days away from that. 8 years ago, and my daughter in the dream, she was grabbing a game. We were staying over at somebody else's house because we were homeless at the time for a short time. And she, in the dream, she comes over with this game and she says, "Daddy, would you like to?" She had this really cute little voice. "Daddy, would you like to play America's in Trouble?" And it was the game Trouble. And it went from her voice to God's voice, like morphed to his voice. And then I said, "Okay." And then she pulled out the game from the box, and then he said through her, "Pop the bubble." If you're familiar with the game Trouble, it's a clear bubble, and there's a die in there, and you pop it, and then you have 1 through 6 chance of getting a 1 through 6, one through a 6. And so I popped the bubble, and it was a 2. And then he said, "Pop it again." And then so I popped it again, and it was a 5. By the way, this is the only time I've ever been given a specific numbers for a specific date. Usually it's all been coded, and it was for a reason. I'm going to share this. So I popped a 5. And then I said, and then I knew kind of what to ask. I said, so America's in trouble. Is it in 25 years? And then he said, no. And I said, 25 months? He said, no. And I said, 25 weeks? And he said, no. I said, 25 days? And he said, yes. America's in trouble in 25 days. And I was like, what? And then I literally woke up right after that. And then I ended up looking at a calendar in this house. And I was wondering about it. So that was the night of the 29th of August. And today's the 27th of August. 8 years ago. Almost 8 years ago now. To a couple days. And then I looked at the calendar and I added 2 days. I added 25 days to that. So then it was 2 days to end August, and then another 23 days, and it was going to be 9/23/2015. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? I didn't know anything about anything as far as any of that stuff. And then I found out about a week later that in news that these two were going to meet on that day. And I'm like, well, that can't be coincidence that he said that America's in trouble. And so I thought that was the end of America or something was going to start then, but I didn't know, and I didn't, whatever. But no, nothing happened necessarily except him, there were different rituals they went through. But over time, the Lord showed me that this was happening for a reason. This was sealing the end of the United States. It was in trouble, and there was a marriage that was going to happen that I realized later, and I'm going to share this with you, of the Antichrist and the false prophet, and sealing the end of the United States, because that's where the Antichrist is from, and all this stuff. It was all part of prophecy about Babylon and everything else. And the United States is Mystery Babylon. Okay, so let's just keep going here. I'm going to show this to you. Okay, so this was the day they met. Okay, technically. Okay, there was a couple days he was here, but this main technical thing that they went through a lot of things on this particular day. Okay, and that actually is prophesying or predictively programming. You see, there's prophesying which is real, and this is manipulated behind the scenes called predictive programming. Okay, and so 9/23/2015, we'll look at all. You take a 1 away, then it's to be 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then 2 comes down, 0 comes down, and then 5 is really 2 plus 3, 2 and 3. So that's the real date of the first attacks of the United States. So by them getting together, they were setting the attacks of the United States, and America was in trouble. And about 8 years later, pretty close to that. And I don't understand the reason for, almost 8 years, or right in, neighborhood 8 years would be a new beginning or something like that. So whatever. So let's just keep going. Okay. So now from that date to this date, September 5th, is literally their death date. 9, and then 2 plus 5 is 7. Okay, 9, 7. And then that day, okay, plus their actual reported death day is 9, and then 2. Sorry, do it this way. It's see, there's 2 ways you could do this, a few ways, but it's really showing this. It's showing 7 is Septem. By the way, yeah, September. That's a huge reason why September is Septem, which really means 7, not 9. So this is Septem 7, and then 2 plus 9 is 11. That's Septem 11. You're going to see a lot of these 7-11s, okay, just like the store and everything else, because it's really saying September 11th, which is, yeah, what I shouldn't have said. So, okay, anyway, it doesn't, oh, man. Okay, so it's so, yeah. Okay, so anyway, it's, Septem, and then 2 plus 9 is 11, okay? And that's that. So literally, again, like I showed in the beginning, I'm going to show you these 2 and how they coincide with these two freaks, okay? Boom. Okay, now here he is, his presidential portrait. Now he had one before that, but this one was last year. Oh, surprise, on 9/7/2022. Again, particularly programming the 9/7 that's about to come, when he's actually going to kick the bucket. Well, I don't know about actually, but in a sense, yes, he's going to. So, boom, and that is, rule of Kalel, you can add a 1. So I'm going to add a 1 right there. Boom, there it is. See, there it is. That's what that is showing. And now, what's secret here, well, I've shared this before, but I'm going to share even more things in details about this. Okay, and then especially about this is not a coincidence that this is showing, literally this portrait is showing his death, and then it happened on this day, okay, a year ago, but then it's particularly programming this year, this date on this year. Okay, now watch. Boom, now watch this. So now if you kind of squint your eyes a little bit and look at him, this is a serpent eating him. Okay, this is a black serpent, or a black mamba, like Kobe Bryant was a black mamba, which is a version of Satan. Okay, and that's him eating him. And that's on his death day. That's a serpent eating him. I'm going to prove it in a few other ways. You're like, yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's not a serpent, whatever. Yes, it is. It's a serpent eating him. Okay, and because that's his death. And then it's going he's going to come back as him. Okay, now watch. See, now we got his counterpart, like I said, the Pope, Robo-Pope, okay? He's the Pope on a rope. He's right here in the middle of this snake that's eating him. Do you see this? If you don't know about this, this is incredible. Like, anybody would walk in here in the audience hall in the Vatican right here and not see this is these are snake eyes. These are the scales right here, and these are big fangs, and the Pope sits right there. He's being eaten continually by this serpent right there. He sits right there. Okay, like right there, see? Okay, and so this is what it's actually called. The audience hall is called the Paul sixth, I guess, audience hall. Now that's all the stuff's right in here. Now you take those 2 and add them up. Oh, we have this number again. Remember this number I showed you earlier? Because you minus Stinky Bio's day of the year, birth, and then that gets the false prophet's day he was born, the day of the year. Yeah, what a shock. That shows up again, okay? And then, so let me show you what this also means, okay? So there's the number. Turn it upside down and backwards. 7 is L, 6 becomes 9, and 5 stays 5. 5 upside down and backwards is 5. 1 upside down and backwards is 1. 8 upside down and backwards is 8. I mean, some things change and make other things some are the same. Okay, but that's L95. What's that? Now we're going to take this, we're just going to switch this L and this 9. Usually it's just one switch. Almost all the time they do one little switch. So that, in this case, is 9L5. Well, what's L? 9L is 12, of course, and then 5. So that's September 12th, and 5 is 23. 5 is hiding 2 and 3. So that's the other tsunami day. So it's 9, 1, and then 1, and then 9, 12. And depending on your time of day that this happens, and where you are, what coast you're on, or what time zone you're in, it'll be at 9, 1, and then 1, or 9, 12. And there it is, the exact day. This is also 9, 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 9, 8. So literally we're showing both, like I showed you before. 9, 8, or 9, 7, and 8, 9, 8, and 9, 11, and 9, 9, 11, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Wow, I got to stop saying, okay, 9, 1, and then 1, and then 1, and 9, 12. But so in this case, the reported day, and this is the second day of these 2 days. But there they are again, 9, 8, 9, 12. Okay, or 9, 7, 9, 1, and then 1. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. And then look at this. This is the outside of this exact audience hall that you would look at inside with the 2 eyes. And what does that look like? Do you see that? It's a cutoff. It's like a cutoff head of a serpent. Okay. And when was this made? When was this built? They didn't give an exact date, but they say, of course, 1971. Okay. And that's coded. That's kind of rearranged. What it really is again, it's predictive programming. Okay, this was designed and built by this Italian architect, Pierluigi Nervi, and completed in 1971. So what's that really showing? It's showing 2 things. 1, and then 9, 7 plus 1 is 8. That's the death day. Remember, 1 from 9, 8. You're going to keep seeing this stuff all over in this video. 1 from 9, 8 is 9, 7. So we have 9, 7, and 9, 8. It's also 9, 1, and then 1, and 7. 9, 1, and then 1, 7. And 7 is made up of 2 plus 2 plus 3. So it's showing the death and the birth. Rebirth. Death and rebirth. Okay? I'm just telling you, it's right there in that. It's all over this place with these guys. It's all over. And again, what does this look like? Remember, he's being consumed. He's in here being consumed in this example here by this serpent. He's in here. It was in his mouth. And there it is. He's in his mouth. He's in his mouth. Okay, get it? Oh, man. Hope you get that. Now, again, what this guy that built this place right here, this architect that built this place, what do these 2 have in common? Do you see what they both have in common? This is the Pope, his real name, his original name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, okay, which means bear, gog, lion. Anyway, and Mario. Okay, what do you see here? Do you see something similar about these 2? Well, there you go. Boom. Mario and Luigi. Oh yeah, that's all coded. And you think that's a coincidence? None of this stuff. This is far more than coincidence and all this stuff. Now, what we're going to do to prove this is I'm going to add these together. This plus this plus this plus this. Okay, right there. All that together is what? Look. Oh yeah. So again, we have, if you do this, so this is backwards. 1 from 9, 8 is 9, 7. So we literally have 9, 8 because you can take a 1 away from Rule Kalel, and then we have 1 from 9, 8 is 9, 7. This is backwards, of course. Okay, but how does this also match 100%? Super Mario Brothers is 189 twice in both English and reverse. Again, 189. So it's again, backwards, it's, I mean, you could do it however you want, but right here, you see here is 1 from 8 is, so either you take the 1 away with Rukla and you have 9, 8 backwards, or 1 from 8 is 7, 9, and that's 9, 7 backwards. Hopefully that makes sense. But look at this. These match. It's just crazy. I'm going to show more that match and how this matches so incredibly with both of these nuggets. Okay, now watch. So 189, so that, like I said, it equals death because again, 1 from 8 is 7, and that's 9, 7 backwards, or take away the 1 and you got 9, 8. 9, 8, 9, 7 equals death. Okay, and so again, let me explain it another way. Again, 1 from 8 in this situation. Now sometimes it's in front of 2, and that ends up being a secret date. So if it was 198, then it would be 1 from 9, September 8th. It would be September 7th. Hopefully that makes sense. 1 from 8 is plus, and 1 from 8 and 9 is 7, 9. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and then check this out. Slang for 187. What's 187? I'll show you in a second. 187 slang is, again, we're talking about death here, and that's very similar. Oh, that's weird. California Penal Code Section 187, subdivision defines a murder as unlawful killing of a human being and or fetus. So look, that's a very popular code in movies. There's movies called 187 Homicide and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and what is that? That's 1 plus 8 and 7, or 9, 7, the day of death. And that just happens to be connected completely to this. That this is a big thing out there, predictively programming in movies and stuff. Tons of movies about homicides in California and everything like that. And movies and TV shows and 187, all this stuff all over. And that just happens to match that. His death day, they're both of their death days. I mean, please. It's all in predictive programming. So, and then this guy, before he was Mario, he was in Donkey Kong, he was called Jumpman. So what happens when you add these two together? You get 189. There it is again. There's a number for Super Mario Brothers and their death day. Again, 1 from 8 is 7/9, and the 9/7 is the day. Or you can say 7th of September, the death day. And here again, he's red and blue. Red and blue. That plus that is 189. Okay. Again, Super Mario, and again, their death days. Okay, linking this guy to being the Super Mario. And why is he Super Mario? Now, let me go back here for a second. Because he's alive and then he dies. He's alive and then he dies, in a sense. Okay, that's when you're playing the game. He dies and he comes back to life. He dies and come back to life. Replicating, predictive programming, what's going to happen in the future with Super Mario. Again, he's the false prophet. He's super. He has the power of the Antichrist in him. He's the power of the so-called false Christ that they're going to believe in. Okay, so that's why you're playing this game. And I was playing this as a kid and everything. I had no idea what this is, and it's predictably programming you every step of the way, or every jump of the way. Jumpman, see? Okay, let's keep going here. Red and blue. It just keeps going on everything. It's just crazy. I'm not going to cover every single thing, too. He's a plumber. Okay, he's a plumber. Why? Because it's gematria. 87 plus 102 is, again, 189. Again, the death day, 9897. Boom. He's also a brother. They are Super Mario brothers. He's a brother. And brother is 189. That's just a coincidence? No, I don't think so. If you think these are coincidence, man, you got to have your head checked. Seriously. And then Francis, because we don't know, okay, which pope is it? Is it this one, or is it another one, or is it a previous one? You know, whatever. It's this one, okay? This is linked to his name, exactly, this number. 9, 8, and again, 1 from 8 is 9, 7. So it's both days. Death day, 9, 7, and reported day of 9, 8. Bam, okay? So, again, we have this information right here, right? And then we're going back to here. Now, watch. Boom. Overalls. These are overalls. Why are they overalls? Because they're the numbers. But for who? We already had, we had their death day. Now, this is about Stinky B.O., that he's also, not only is he Jorge Mario Bergoglio, he's also hiding Stinky B.O. because they're both the same. They're both together. They're both the same. Okay, and watch. Overalls is 216. Again, the 216th day of the year is when Stinky B.O. was born. Then we have mustache. The reason why he even has a mustache, because 90 plus 126 is 216. The day of the year Stinky B.O. was born. And then, look, at 8-bit. This is an 8-bit figure or whatever. 8-bit example. 8-bit system. And that's 80 plus 136 is 216. And 8-bit was on Nintendo, and Nintendo is 95 plus 121, and that's 216. Stinky B.O., Stinky B.O., Stinky B.O., all over the place. Bam. And then look at this. Red shirt he has a red shirt. And I could get in every single little thing. I'm going to get most of it here, but I'm not going to get everything here because it's all something. And then watch. Blue eyes. He has blue eyes. Again, 216. All these proving that who this really is who this really showing that you didn't even know, and you're being programmed by the numbers. Because why does it keep coming up this way? Why? How? Because it's planned by demons through people to do this to you. And you're being duped. Okay, I'm just pulling the wool from that was over your eyes and saying to people, get your head out of the sand and start dealing with what's going on and realizing that this is about to come to an end. All this stuff. Okay, so, and then look, yellow buttons. Now, remember, we covered Stinky B.O. Now we're going to cover the Pope. Oh, you think these numbers are going to add up to him, too? Yes, they are, of course. Yellow buttons. 203 plus 148 is 351. The day the Pope was born, 351st day of the year, December 17th. That's just coincidence. Let's go more. Black mustache. It was mustache before, which was their death day, but black mustache is specifically a black mustache because not only that plus that is this. Again, 351 again. But I want to really emphasize this because look, not only does it show these two together being his day, but it also, because remember, all these things relate to Stinky B.O. and the Pope. Okay, but what day is that? Look at this. 11/9/2023. See, look at how clear that is. 11/9. They just scrambled a little bit with these two numbers moved. But 11/9/2023. See, this stuff's all over the place. Just some things are more clear than others. Some things are more clear than others. And then literally in this one, you literally have 1 and 8 is 9, 9/4/23. Because 9/4 and 9/5 are going to be the first attack days, and then 9/1 and then 1 is going to be the tsunami days, and 9/12. Okay, so bam, it just keeps going. I got more. What is this thing? This is a newsboy hat. Because when little boys in the 20s and 30s, had newspapers on the corner, remember those movies and stuff, old movies, even movies about old time periods about the 20s and 30s, they sold, papers on the street corner or whatever. It's called a newsboy hat. So this is a red newsboy hat. That plus that, oh, you guessed it, 351 again. Wow. Okay. Now here again we have the guy who designed that audience hall in the Vatican, Pier Luigi Nervi. Okay. And is he going to be linked to this at all? Of course, because he's Luigi, right? Okay, watch. He's born June 21st, 1891. Again, you right away you see 189. I see 189 right there. And then look, 197. Oh, there's so much in here. Let me show you. So June is 6 is really 9, 9 is 6. Because 6 upside down and backwards is 9, 9 upside down and backwards is 6. The elite consider 9 and 6 to be the same number. So 6 is really 9. So that's backwards. This is 12-9. Again, tsunami day of 12-9. And then we have a rule of club. We can take any one away. So we're taking this one away. Then we have 8-9-1. Backwards, again, 1-9-8. 1 from 9-8 is 9-7, and then we'll take away the 1 and we have 9-8. Again, tsunami day, death day. And then even in the death, so this is all in birth and death. Even in the death we have this as well. January, another thing about January, just like September or 9 is really, the 9th month is really, it's called September, which is really 7. That's September 7 in Latin. I mean, it's crazy. But January is the 11th month and on the Roman calendar, but the first month on the Gregorian. So they hide this all the time. That January is really the 11th month Roman calendar, so they can hide this. That this would be 9, 1, and then 1. So again, rebirth, and then here's death again. Take away a 9. Anything you add 9 to stays the same. Get rid of the 9. We have 1, 7, 9. So backwards, we have death. They have 9, 7 plus 1 is 9, 8, and then rebirth of 9, 1, and then 1. See how that works? Both death, birth, backwards. That's even backwards too. 12th of September. 1 from 9-8 is 9-7, or take away the 1, 9-8. See this all? See how these are perfectly backwards? 9-7 plus 1 is 9-8, 9, 1, and then 1 for the. I mean, it's crazy. It's all right here. Okay, I'm about to blow your mind. If you have somewhat of an open mind, if your mind's completely closed, you won't see this at all. But if this is mind blowing, what the Lord showed me about this. Now watch. So you have Stinky Bill's birthday. Okay, again, it's 260th day of the year, August 4, 1961. You add 6 years, which equals this many days. This column is going to be the days, whatever this is. They're going to add up to these amount of days. Okay, plus 66 months, which equals this amount of days, plus 666 weeks. Plus 6,666 days, or again, that equals that, because that's days. Okay, these are all days. That equals this many days. This equals that many days. Okay, it's crazy. Then keep going. Plus 66,666 hours. Plus 666,666 minutes, which this equals this many days. Now at this point, when you add all these up, you have this many days from his birthday. Okay, what is that? What is that? When you add this many days to his birthday, it is December 24, 2012. Well, what's the big deal about that? Well, December 24, 2012 is the exact opposite of the year of June 24, 2012, which is the date iPad Go 2 came out. Why is that important? Because they do opposites. Again, like I said, 6 is 9. Those are, in a sense, that's the opposite. Opposite, upside down and backwards of 9 is 6. Upside down and backwards of 6 is 9. Well, on the calendar, one of the opposites is 6 months away from a particular date gets you to that opposite of the calendar. And you add 6 months again, and you get back to the same day, right? So think about it being like a circle, and on one side you have, all the way around the circle is all the months and all the days, all the way back to itself. You take a date and go all the way around the circle, and for 12 months it comes back to itself. But on the other side of the circle is 6 months later, and then if you're at that date, so for example, if you're at December 24th, go 6 months later and you get to June 24th, and then it's just a rough 6 months. It's not exactly, because you don't know how many months or days a month is, 30, 31, whatever, but just kind of roughly 6 months will take you December, January, February, March, April, May, June, and then 6 months later, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 6 months later is back to December again. Hopefully that makes sense. But they do this in opposites to hide it. But December 24th is June 24th. December 24th, 2012 is June, and that's when iPad Go came out. So that's, again, it's all tied to this guy. It's all tied to 6s. See how that is? Now we can take one more step. We go from years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes. What's left? What's left? Seconds. Yes, but before I do that, this is also, see how many days this is hiding. 1 plus 8 is 9. And then we have 7. And then we have 1. Over here, again, one switch. 7 and 1 is 1, 7. So we have the death day of 9, 7. It's hidden in these days right here. They do that. So from here to here, and this total number is hiding 9, 7 plus 1. So 9, 7 and 9, 8. 7 is 2 plus 2 plus 3. So that's their death day. 9, 7 plus 1 is 9, 8, and then 2 plus 2 plus 3. Hope that makes sense. Now we're going to add seconds. Now again, this is going to just stay this way. Now when you add this, the seconds, which equal this many days, but then we'll round up to 78 because it's 77.16 days. Is that's 6,666,666 seconds is 77.16 days. Now, if you start on a particular day at 77 and you add 0.6, that's still going into the next day. If you think of a day as a 24-hour period, then adding 0.16 of a day is going to go still to the next day. So you round up to 78 and you add that to this total and you get that. Okay. Now again, right here, this is 9, 9, and then 7 and 7 and then 8. Again, that Stinky BO is 978. He literally equals 978. Barack Hussein Obama equals 978 in English Sumerian. And then this one here, it just happens to be, because this is death, and then this number just happens to be 1 plus 8 is 9, and then 8 plus 4 is 12. Anything you add 9 to stays the same, you get rid of this 9. So you have 9, 12. It's really death and birth right here. Also, I'm just adding this as well. But now what's the thing? What do we have when we go from this and add all these sixes? Years, months, week, days, hours, minutes, seconds, or we add to this we add 18,849 days, which equals all this. What do we have? Francis becomes Pope on exactly that day. Impossible. Impossible for this to be like this if this was not planned. I mean, I'm proving it. Am I not proving it? And if you don't see this, you're not very bright. Sorry. There's no way this could be if this wasn't planned. This is off the charts impossible. Again, very far, way off the charts, far from coincidence. There's no way. And I'm going to do it the other way around with the Pope's birth to Stinky BO. And watch this. Okay, but just to prove this here, again, this day, March 13th, 2013. March 13th, 2013, Bergoglio is elected Pope after the shock resignation of Pope Benedict, in which they forced him to resign to make this all work out, of course. And he takes the name Francisco, which is kind of Spanish, basically, from Argentina, whatever, which means Francis, like San Francisco. That's the reason why that's called that. That's the reason for but a lot of things. Anyway, okay, so now check this out. So also from a Stinky BO's birthday to this day of they come back to life, okay, is this. Now watch. Now we're going to, we were going from Stinky BO, we're still on Stinky BO, but now I'm going to show you something here. This is crazy. That to this day, okay, that what I'm saying is going to be the tsunami day and his rebirth. Lightning falling from heaven, Satan falling from being kicked out of heaven and going into his dead body, and he was going to come back to life on this day. 11/12, depending on your time zone, is 22683. And what is that? So I'm going to do it in digital format to show you upside down and backwards how they equal. See how this equals each other. Okay, now watch. 22683 is really 226, and then 8 plus 3 is 11. Now we're going to take this upside down and backwards. It's exactly 22. If you go look at it backwards, 22 and 9, 1, and then 1. Why is that important? Like I said, from when the notorious this date happened, okay, to the one that's coming up here is exactly 22 years later. So what this is doing from Stinky BO's birthday to this day is secretly saying in the total numbers 22 years from this day to the next 9, 1, and 1. Okay, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Hopefully that makes sense. It's crazy. Okay, now let's look at when Stinky BO filed papers to become president. The day he filed papers was January 16, 2007, okay? And then it was reported here on January 17, 2007. So, again, there's an event that happens, and then there's a reporting day. That's why it's a 2-day thing. So now let's look at this. The event day, January 16th, he filed papers for presidency, 116, and then it was reported on January 17th. And there's a lot more articles with this. I'm just using one example of the actual day and reported day. Okay, so why these both matter? Because 116 is upside down and backwards, that number, and then 117, the reported day, is hiding Septem 7, 1, and then 1, or that also. So these two both mean 9, 1, and then 1. Okay, that's just the way it is. Okay, so that's, again, predictive program for this 9, 1, and then 1. 116 upside down and backwards is that, and then Septem, or 7, 1, and 1 is Septem 1, and then 1. See how that is? That's why they call it Septem, because they can do this stuff and hide it. Boom. Okay, so now let's take that day that was reported, okay, because again, the actual day and the reported day are the same. The 2 days become one in a sense, because there's a 24-hour period in between them. Any event on one day, 24 hours later is the same, basically, event in a sense, but in a different day. Long story on that, explanation, whatever. But okay, so that reported day, then we minus 666 months, 666 weeks, and 666 days, and we get what? That is the birth of this guy, the Pope on a rope. Okay, look at that. That's incredible. Like I said, I showed you from Stinky Bill's birthday to when the Pope became Pope, and then I'm showing you from the Pope's birthday. You can go this way. You go from the Pope's birthday at 666 months, 666 weeks, and 666 days, and you get the reported day of when Obama filed papers to become the birth of his presidency, in a sense. The birth of the Pope becoming the Pope, or the birth of the Stinky Bill becoming president, filing papers or whatever. There's just two different examples, but they're the same thing. It's one or the other. Okay, now look, he's on Time magazine. He's in darkness, and he's got horns. See that? See the red horns like the devil? Is that a coincidence? I think not. Okay, now boom. Look where we got the People's Pope. Now watch this. See, this is hiding something in here, this predictive programming. And I'm going to show you, not only is there gematria predictive programming, there's also what I cover and most people don't cover is first and last letter code. First and last letter code is right there. There's a first and last letter of each word, and they form a predictive programming date, okay, of when they're going to both come to life, okay? And it's right here. Watch. T is 20, P is 16, P is 16. Now, because this is first, we can take the 20 and put it down here. Oops. And then 16 plus 16 is 32. Okay, we'll leave this right now. We'll take E. E is 5. S is 19. And then E is 5. Okay, we'll take the first column here. We're going to do 5 plus 1 plus 5 is 11. And we're going to bring this 9 down. And boom. And then we just, remember, the one switch, right, the 3 and the 2, we just do like that. And we literally have backwards 9, 1 and then 1, 23. Incredible. That's how this works. I'm telling you, it's all over the place with these guys. It's everywhere. And again, I have 3 or 4 times more of the information I can share than on this video. I'm showing on this video, and I don't want to do more than a 2-hour video. This could end up being more than a 2-hour video, but I'm hoping it isn't. You know what it is right now. And then look, he's on time. Time is basically, I call this a mirror date of his death and birth. So there's the middle 9, and then don't count the 0. 2 is hiding 1 and 1, so we got 9, 1 and then 1, and then we have 9, 1 from 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. So 9, and take away the 1 and 8, or 9, 1 from 8 is 7. So we have 9, 1 and then 1, and then 9, 8, 7 and 8 right here. Hopefully that makes sense. Boom. Okay, and then even in everybody associated with the Pope and Stinky BO has to do with all of them and their deaths and their birth, okay, including the so-called wife, Michael. Michelle and I is January. In this case, January is 1 because 117 is right here, and then 1 and 6 plus 4 is 10 to go to 0. 119 is right here. So what this is saying in her birthday, birthday is it's 117 is 119. Because that's Septem 11, Septem 11. Get it? Because September 7, but it's also 9, which doesn't make sense, but that's the way they do this because they want to hide it. Hope that makes sense, okay? And then also in its name is these right here. It's going to be Stinky BO. Watch, boom. But no, it's not. Not this one. Right here, it is 99 plus 252 is 351. and that's the date of birth, the day of the year of the Pope. Again, remember? But right here, this is going to be something else. Watch. Before I do that, again, that's showing that 351st day of the year is 1217. Now, what's this? These two together is this, 2106. Take away the 0, and you have 216. The 216th day of the year is 84. So literally, in her name, in English and reverse, and English Sumerian, which is this times 6, Sumerian in reverse is the Pope's day of the year birth, and Stinky Bio's day of the year birth when you take away the 0. 351 and 216. Incredible, both of these. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So again, then you take these two and add these two together, 351 and 216, because right here you got this number. So you're adding all these numbers together, final number of this, and what do you have? 2 plus 4 plus 5 is 11, 7, or 7, 11, or September 1 and then 1. I'm saying it that way because I got to say it in code, unfortunately. Or just do the normal numbers like this. This is the normal, another way of doing it that way, but it will come out the same. Watch. This plus that is 5, 6, 7, like we saw before, and that's 5 and 6 is 11, and 7, or that. Okay, and this is going to keep coming up all over when it has to do with these two and all these things that are associated with this, and 7, 8, and 9. Sorry, 7, 7, 7, and 7, 8. But I'm not getting into all those with the 7s, but most of them will be 9s. But you'll see this 7 come, the 7, 1, and then 1 come up all the time because it's September 11. Get it? Okay, here we go. Boom. And then the days left over on their days of the year. So this day, their day of the year, this is the Pope's day of the year that he was born, with 14 days left over on the calendar, okay, of the year. 14, and then this is day of the year of Stinky Bio's birth with 149 days left over. You put these two together and you get 163. Again, what's 163? Stinky Bio. Okay, back to him again. Now watch this. 163 is based on, in a sense, the 163rd day of the year, which is June 12th. Well, look, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, again, these three names, is 12th of June. June 12th, 163rd day of the year, 12th of June. So yeah, I'm sharing this because this date is the predictive programming all over the place. I'm going to show you some examples of that. And the numerology has to do with all kinds of stuff. Not only that, but Stinky Bio is 163, and B is 2OB. B is Bob. He is Bob. B-O-B. 202 is B-O-B. Bob. He's Bob. Barack Obama. He's Bob. Barack, lightning falling from heaven in English, in original Hebrew is Barack Obama. B-O-B. 2 is B. O-B. Okay. Boom. Okay, and that's predictive programming. Every time you see Bob in the media, that's him. Okay, predictively programming you. So here's an example of this date. Again, June 12th for Stinky Bio and June 12th for Francis. And this is an example in the news, predictive programming you, saying that this, talking about the Orlando Shooters. Okay, I don't know if I should even say that, but whatever. To say it this way, okay? So this, and then this one is June 12th, the same, another year, doesn't matter. It's just so, because these just keep coming up on these days, these predictive programming. They have to do with the date has to do with their death and their birth, but it also has to do with their programming you and what these things are with their death and birth. By the way, this is, again, upside down and backwards. This, okay, in a sense, 189 upside down and backwards, or which is backwards, 981, but upside down and backwards, and then we have backwards 912. Again, death upside down and backwards here, and birth is, this one's backwards, 912, the birth, 912. And then this one is upside down and backwards, 9 in the middle of 12, okay? And then this one is right side up, 1 from 89 is 79, or 997 and 98. Okay, hopefully that, because these two are the same and these two are the same. See how these are? Boom, okay? I'm telling you. Okay, and then also 163 has to do also with 6 in the middle of 13, June 13th. Okay, so watch, that has to do with that as well. And is RoboPope having anything to do with that? Yes, because his name is 201. See how this is? And then now let's look at some examples of predictive programming on this day. Boom, okay, look. Again, June 13th, Obama's Netflix series asked if we've ignored the workplace for too long. It's called working. So let's look at working, and I'm just going to deal. Look, we have 9/7, his death day, 9/7. Then we have 9 and 2 is made up of 1 and 1. So we have 9/7 and 9, 1 and then 1. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And then these are other things I'm not going to get into. These are days of the year or days left over, and I'm not going to get into that right now. But just to show you this, boom, that these are both 189. Again, this is the death. Remember, just like Super Mario Brothers is 189 and all those other things. 1 from 8/9 is 7/9, which is 9/7, or take 1 away, and you have backwards 9/8. 9/7 to 9/8 is what this is showing secretly. And again, June 13th, June 13th. This is the Pope resting. So this has to do with the Pope and his recovering from his surgery. So the subject is surgery. So there's surgery, boom. And the subject of this is the show called Working. And it's working, see? And it's programming you to many things. 9/7 and 9/1 and then 1. And this is 9/7, 9/8 right here. Okay? And these are two other things separately, but I'm not going to get into it, which has to do with 9/7 and 9/1 and then 1. Okay, but anyway, so now let's look at Stinky BO's numbers here. Again, there we go, 9/7/8, 9/7 and 9/8 in his numbers, and we got 9, 3 plus 8 is 1 and then 1, 9, 1 and then 1, or 1 plus 9, 1 and then 1. And see, it can be 1 from, but in this case it's 1 plus 9, 1 and then 1 is 9/12. So 9, 1 and then 1, and plus 1 is 9/12. Death, birth. And this also, let me show you what this is. This is 1, 6 plus 3 is 9, or 9/1 the first day, 9/1. And then this is, again, just switch 1. So you have basically, you're just going to switch the 2 and the 3. So it's 2, 3, 3, and that's 2, 6. 2, 3 plus 3 is 6. Upside down and backwards is 9, 2, and 9, 2 is 9. 2 is hiding 1 and 1. So you're going to get 9/1 the first day, and which is in a sense a birth, and then that's a birth. So 9/1 and 9/1 and then 1. Okay, man, that's crazy. Okay, and then these two together equals 486. What's 486 hiding? 486 is hiding 8 in the middle of 46. 846 is when the 9/1 and then 1, the notorious 9/1 and then 1 started. That's when the first plane hit the first building. Okay, 846. That's also when George Floyd was being had the foot of the officer on his neck or whatever for wherever it was, for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, and George Floyd backwards is 9/1 and then 1. George Floyd spelled out in English mantra is 9/1 and then 1 backwards. This happens to be, and that was the time the 9/1 and then 1 started back in 2001. Okay, and then you add these two together, and you get this. What is that? Well, that is 2 plus 9 is 1, 1. And then 1 plus 6 is 7. So you see how there's a 9, 1, and 1 in here, but that's also, get rid of any 9, and that's Septem, 1, and then 1. See? This is also hiding this just by itself. 2, 9, and then 1 plus 6 is 7. However you look at it, okay? But this is also 9, 1, and then 1, and then the year, 7, which is hiding 2 plus 2 plus 3. 9, 1, and then 1, 2 plus 2 plus 3. Man, it's hard to say 9, 1, and then 1 every single time, but I'm getting more used to it. So I want to say what everybody else says, but I can't because it's in the algorithms. And I might have said it too many times, who knows, in the very beginning, messing up. Okay, so here we go. And then you take this plus this. So these two plus to that, these two plus to that, and then this plus this equals that. And then what is that still? That's 7, and then 2 is hiding 1 and then 1. 7, 1, 7, 11, okay? That's crazy. It's crazy how that works. Okay, so this is 7, and then 2 is hiding 1 and 1. 7, 1, 1, 7, 1, 1. And then that's when September 1 and then 1 started at 846. It's crazy. I hope you're seeing this. And then, again, this upside down and backwards is 8, 9, or 9, 8 backwards, which is the death. And then this is 9, 4, one of his life, the 4th or 5th day. Again, so that's what that is, okay? And then these two together is, what a shock. 2, 9 is 11 and 7. So again, Septem, 1 and then 1. Hiding that, the symbol for that. It's crazy. Now these two together is this. Again, what is this? 7 is right there, 7. 1 plus 8 plus 2 is 11. So 7, 11, or Septem, 1 and then 1. Again, now put these two together again. Those two, well, let me show you this also. Not only this is this 7, 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. This is also 8 sorry, one. It's one. Oops. 1 is 1, 8, and then 7 plus 2 is 9. So we literally have the death, 9, 7, and 9, 8 in here, and September 11. Okay. Wow, and then these two again, bam, is 2079, and that is 7, and then 2 plus 9 is right here. There it is. See, these all make up this. They just keep going, and that's why this is broken. I'm broken this thing. It's crazy. And then these two together, okay, make this, and then that's just switching switching 5 and 1, and that's 351 backwards. Again, one switch, 5 and 1, and it's 351 backwards. Okay, and then this one is that plus that is 3078, and that is 7, and 3 plus 8 is 11. Okay, and then this plus this now. Okay, and that's that. What is that? That is 198, which is 9, 7, and 9, and 8. Wow, again, it just keeps showing up. All these things keep showing up. And then here is in two names without his middle name. Okay, again, this, but I'm going to show you how this, see how it's two names without his middle name, very close to matches Obama's three names. So that's 1, 4 plus 5 is 9, 9, 1. 1, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9, 1. Then we have 2, 3, 3 or 2, 3, 3. 9, 1 and 2, 3, 3 on both. See how these match? It's crazy. Okay. And again, we have this plus this is that, which is hiding this. 7, 1, and then 1. And then we have this plus this is hiding 846. 846 is when September 1 and then 1 started on 846. And then these two these two added together is this, and that's hiding 2 plus 6 is 846. Again, when September 1 and then 1 started at 846, the first tower was knocked down. Supposedly with that, but it was really something else. It was technology. Okay, bam. Oh, man. Okay, hopefully I'm proving that you understand how this is showing up all the time. Okay, and then, so this again is Michael and I, and then I'm not going to include this name because they both share the same name, but if you take all three names right here, Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, and if you add these all together within themselves, you have this. How is that possible if that's not planned? It's not possible. Not possible. No, it's not. Okay, so like I had in a dream with the Lord, I was sitting down in a dream, and the Lord was sitting across from the room from me, and then in the air in between us was the big numbers 216, and then he stood up and went towards me, but to the 216 in the air, and he flipped the 6 around to a 9, and he said 216 is 219. And now I think I completely understand what he was saying, because 216, he was flipping the 6 to a 9, but if you actually flip the 216 all the way around, it's 912. So his birth on 216th day of the year flipped around is really going to be 912, which is a version of 219, which is backwards 219. Okay, so 216 is 219, but you just have to flip the whole thing around, and that's 912, his birth from lightning falling from heaven, and Satan striking his dead body when he comes back to life. Okay, and again, also I had one where he said ISIS is born on 210. So if 216 is 219, 219, 1 plus 9, because it's 219, it's 2, 1 plus 9 is 10. So 210 is 219, which is 912 backwards. And that's still 210. Plus, from this date of 912 to the second Great American Eclipse of April 8th, which is huge, Xing out United States, is 210 days. So ISIS is born on 210. And that's also the birth of the mark of the beastles. Okay, that's the mark. I'm saying that X out is the X. Watch my last few videos, especially my last one about that. It's literally marking out the mark. The X in Hebrew, it means mark, and that's showing that the mark is coming, and I believe it's going to be rolled out on that day. There's a lot of evidence for that. Okay, so, and then even I'll just use one of the Obama's little daughters, Obama's daughters. Okay, just use one of them for example, because she is a great example. That's her name, and literally it has both of their death, 9/7, and the 254th day of the year is 9/1 and then 1. So you have 9/7 and 9/1. Again, I'm showing this all the time. How many times have I shown this? So many times now. Crazy. Okay, so this is when they first met back in March 27th of 2014, okay? And there's all these pictures of them laughing and being all giddy and stuff with each other. And now when I'm looking at it again, the Lord just really showing me some stuff about this. It's crazy. This is the date that this happened, okay? And look, it's 8-6, which is upside down and backwards, 9-8, when they're both reported dead. And then when they both come back to life, it's 7 September 29, or September 1 and then 1. Okay, that's so death and birth hidden in two codes right there. You know, day of the year and days left over. Death 9-8, and then rebirth 7 or September 2 plus 9 is 11. September 1 and then 1. It's crazy. Okay, back to this. Okay, giddy. Okay, and what the Lord's showing me about this, and He just kept saying like they're courting. Like what? They're courting, and then I looked it up, and that is courting is because they're going to get married, and they're secretly showing that they're going to get married. It's because they have this unique marriage of evil. And I'm going to show this in a few different ways and show in the numbers. It's really crazy. So what's going on? They're looking giddy, and they're looking at each other like they're just so fascinated by each other, and they're just so happy. I mean, when you have world leaders getting together, they don't show all these pictures of them just laughing and just looking at each other with these googly eyes and stuff. I mean, it looks like they're in love. I mean, it's so sick. It's so disgusting. Like they're really that good friends meeting for the first time, and they act like this. I mean, and they really have that much fun. I mean, the Pope. Robo-Pope, so hoping to rope the guy who was supposed to be so serious most of the time and everything like that. And then, I mean, it's not. You gotta see what's underneath the surface. You gotta see what's between the lines here. And this is what the Lord showed me. I'm gonna prove it. Watch. Courting 107 plus 109 is 216. That's him. And then we go this plus this plus this plus this is 1512, and that backwards is 1 plus 2 is 3, 5, 1 backwards, 3, 5, 1, and that's him. The day of the year he was born, 351 right there, and 216 right there. That's just coincidence? No. And you add it to all the stuff I've shown already, and what I'm going to show? No. And then they're exchanging gifts when they met together as well. They're like exchanging these big important things. Right, it's all giddy and exchanging gifts, and it's very much like a courting or whatever, or like a before a marriage. Look, bride and groom gift exchange, is that a thing? And there's so much more I could have brought with this, but I didn't have a lot of time to more evidence. But basically, the idea, and look at the date on this. It's just happened to be that the day before they got together. They got together as far as the day. Some couples exchange gifts the night before the wedding and the morning of the wedding, and some exchange gifts after the ceremony is complete. Yeah. But that's in many cultures where there's gifts exchanged before the wedding. Okay, another example of that is in Jewish culture. And this example, the giving of the Torah. That prior to the giving of the Torah, the marriage between Hashem and whatever, there is also exchange of gifts. See, that's just in different cultures. And then this is their courting. This is going into their showing their marriage. And he just happens to be wearing this white gown kind of thing. And then there's the beast with the horns. And what you don't see here is what the Lord showed me very clearly, especially real recently. It's like, oh my gosh, there's he's Lily. He is she is he. Did you know he's a he, she? Okay, boom. The Roman Catholic Church, never one to scrimp on symbolism, adopted the white lily, later known as the Madonna lily, as a symbol for the Virgin Mary. Okay, innocence, purity, fertility, connection to the divine. What's more connected to the divine than this jackwagon, as far as falsely connected to the divine, right? People think, and purity and all that stuff. That's Lily. It's a dress. It's crazy. That's the bride. He's the beast. He's the big guy with the horns. He's the groom. It's so sick. It's just, and to even point that even more. Oops, let's go this way. You ready? Again, like he said, Lily. Look, in white. Waiting to, and then give birth to something, to evil, okay? Already? Lily is 58, but when you go ruler Kalal, we'll take away the 1 right there, okay? And then 2 is hiding, 1 and 1, and then there's 9, and that's a mirror date, what I call it. So there's 9 in the middle, and you got 9, 1, and then 1 going this way, and 9, 12, 25, or 9, 12, 2, 5 is hiding 2 and 3, so excuse me, 9-1 and then 1, and then 9/12/2023 hidden right there. The 2 days. That's the birth of the Antichristos. Boom. Okay, and then another way of showing it is that is Lily marrying darkness in the movie Legend. Legend. Incredible. Do you see? And look, she's sitting down. Her name is Lily in the movie, and that's darkness, the devil. Look at this. That is what's going on. Look at that. Is that not what's going on? Can you not see between the lines? Can you not, oh my gosh, the Lord, it just totally blew me away with this. He's like, that is legend. And they are going to be legends in the world and like superheroes in a sense. And they're going to fight aliens, and they're going to be the answer to so-called the false Christ and his prophet, the answers to the world, falsely, of course. But look at this. Look at this. I'm sticking out like this. This is Lily. It's like I showed you, even the Catholic is the churches that has the lily as the thing and the purity and all that. Like I said, and they're getting together. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. Look at the horns. Look at, oh my gosh, Legend. Oh my gosh, and Legend came out on January 16, 1985. Look, 116 is upside down and backwards. That, and then 1 + 9 + 8 + 5 is 23. When they both are reborn. 9/1 and then 1/23. Are you kidding? You can't make this up. I can't make this up. And then we already know that's Lily, and we already looked at her numbers. Now let's look at darkness. His name is Darkness, not the devil, but he is darkness, really darkness. Darkness is, look, 91125. That's 9112, and then 5 is hiding 2 + 3. 9/1 and then 1 2/20. Are you kidding me? Look at that. 9/1 and then 1 2023. 9/1 and then 1 23. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I could go through this whole movie and show all kinds of things, symbols and everything else. Massive, these large horns, and they're gematria for 9/1 and then 1, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it just goes and goes. And each thing I show, it's like that. So then, this, look, they're basically going through the motions of the pre marriage thing, and then they're going to die, consummated by dying and then coming back to life. It's really sick. Oh man, okay, just sick, okay. And then look, because look, he's like in a dress, and the pure dress, and then look, he's like in almost like a tux. It's almost black, and then I mean, it looks the most tux-like suit that he ever has, and it's like, it's got a gold tie, silver tie, and all this stuff. And that's the same exact suit that was when he was being devoured by the black serpent. Same exact suit and tie. Now watch. But look at this. I'm going to show that they're going to be married. There's a marriage going on. 72 plus 144 is 216. And then this plus this plus this plus this, again, like I showed earlier on the cording, is 1512, which is 1 5, 1 + 2 is 3, or 3 5 1 backwards, and that's the day of the year he was born. Day of the year he was born, day of the year he was born, and they're both in marriage. Are you kidding me? That's a massive coincidence. Again, like, same numbers exist. I mean, a group of different numbers, but they all add up to the same thing as courting did, and they had both of the numbers in it? I don't think so. And how did I find that? How did I find all this stuff? And then look, 7 days of the wedding feast for Franciscan sisters. Again, it's kind of a thing in Catholicism, and then we even have Franciscan sisters. Okay, it's for 7 more days the bride and groom remain in the bridal chamber and are waited upon. So what I'm saying is they both are reported dead on 9/8 as far as the public is concerned, and then plus 7 days they're waiting in the bridal chamber symbolically, right? But no one sees them, and then they come out to the world on 9/15. It's crazy. It matches everything I've been saying for so long. My timeline is 16 days. There's a pre-day, and there's a post-day of 8/31, and a post-day of 9/15, or a total of 16 days. And the very last day is the 14th and 15th. And he dies, and they come back, and they come on the world stage on this day from the bridal chamber. I mean, it's just sick. It's sick. I hope you see what I'm saying. It's sick. And now this, they're doofs. Okay, both these are doofs. I mean, they're supremely evil. They're demons in flesh suits. There's very powerful demons in flesh suits. Okay, but they're doofs, and I like to look at them as all kinds of ridiculous doofies. So that's There they go. They're the cartoony versions of them. But they do equal each other. Now watch this. This is another crazy thing how they equal each other. Now watch. Boom. Okay, you got the days of the year that they were born, each of them. He was born on the 351st day of the year. He's born on the 216th day of the year. Now, boom, look at this. 9/7, their death. What's this going to equal? They both have 9/7 involved in this. And boom. So basically, you take the Pope, day of the year he was born, minus 9/7, the day he dies, equals 254. Okay, what does that matter? I'll tell you in a second. And then you have Stinky BO is 119 is the day he comes back to life, plus the day he dies equals 216. Because 9, 1, and then 1 is the 254th day of the year. Look at this. These are both 9, 1, and then 1 is the 254th day of the year, and they both have 9/7, their death days, to equal their numbers. Are you kidding me? The Lord made this so clear to me. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? No way could that be. It's also shown all over the place. I could do a 2-hour video on just this movie. Okay, because his name and the guy who's in it and the characters and all that stuff are all 9, 1, and then 1 and the year 2023. Now watch. This came out in the Line of Fire, and it's about the real 9, 9, 1, and then 1, which is to come. Because in the first 9, 1, and then 1, this movie's about killing a president. Okay? That didn't happen in the first 9, 1, and then 1. That's going to be in the real 9, 1, and then 1, which is going to kill 2 presidents and a popesals and other things. Okay? So that's yet to come. But this movie came out on 7/9/1993, which is what? Again, 9/7, their death day. And it just has to be backwards right here of July 9th. It's going to be September 7. And then their birth. This is right here. 1, 9, 9 plus 3 is 12. It's hiding this. 9/12. 1 from 9/12 is 9, 1, and then 1. So 1 from 9/12 is 9, 1, and 1, and 9/12 when you take away the 1 from Ruth Kalel. So again, 9, 1, and then 1, and 9/12, and 9/7 their death day. Boom. Okay, I'm going to show you this one scene from here, because I don't want to make this a super long video, and I can show so much more. I wanted to make it a little bit shorter, a little bit better, and I was hoping to be under a certain amount, and it's going to be, it looks like. So this is, so in the movie, towards the end, the assassins get into a dinner. He's going to try to get the president, and his fake name is Carney, or Mr. James Carney. His fingers, Clint Eastwood's character is covering up the Carney right here. But so you can see this, because this is just a quick shot for this. Okay, now watch this. This is the assassin, and if you go look over here from here, is the exact date of the first 9, 1, and then 1. It's literally 11th of September, 2001. Right there. Look at that. It literally shown in this movie exactly the 11th of September, 2001. Okay, but that's not all. That's not the only. It's showing the real and true 9, 1, and 1. Okay, ready? Boom. This is right here. 1 and 1 is 2, and 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. Look at this one. 1 from 224 is 2, 2, 3. Look at this one down here, backwards. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2, 3. That's backwards. 3, 2, 2, or 2, 2, 3 forward. Okay, so then you have all these are 2, 2, 3, and then those go with this one right here. So what we have here is this. We literally have in red is what happened, what already happened, and this was in 1993. So 9, 1, and 1 was about 8 years away. Okay. About 8 years away, which is crazy when I think about it now, because I should do the numbers on that exact time, from that time to when 9, 1, and then 1 happened, and then how about from when 9/23? Oh, maybe that's a similar amount of time. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to let you know if I come up with something. It'll be on my Telegram. You got to sign up for Telegram. Okay. Anyway, so do you see this? So literally, we have this date, and then we have this same number with all these 2023s here. So it's really, because then it's 3 times, so it shows you it's going to be, the one hasn't happened. And like I said, in the movie, it's about killing the president. And in the original one that's shown right here in 2001, they didn't go after the president. Okay, so the real one is coming, where they're going to go after one of the, or it's going to be actually 2 presidents, but it's Trumple and Stinky BO. Okay, so it's crazy, but look at that. Do you see that? That is so clear. Literally, this exact date is in there, and then if you just do a little bit of a switcheroo here, one in front of 224 is 223. 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2, 3 is 2, 2, 3. And then right here, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2, 3 backwards is 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. So 9, 1, and then 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2. I mean, how can it be more clear? And then these two, if you just want to do it this way, these two together, 1 from 224 is 223, and then that's 11, 9 of 223. There you go. That's the real one. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. It's incredible. So what I'm saying is these two dudes, AntichristObama and False Prophet Francis, their symbols and their numbers are far from coincidence. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this at that point, at this, and this proves it. I mean, with all the 666s I showed you, with how their numbers equal each other, how they're in all these different things, their death and their birth dates are in all these different things. That's impossible. Okay, so I'm basically proving it to anyone who has any kind of sense of logic and reason and understanding at all. If you poo-poo this and you can't see the clear information that's impossible, and you believe in this massive coincidence upon massive coincidence upon massive coincidence, no one's going to persuade you. Nobody. Even if it's right in front of your face happening, okay, probably, okay, because you're cynical and whatever. But anybody who has half a brain, an open mind of any kind, will see that I've proven it already. That there's no way the numbers and symbols could be lying, and there's no way it could be all this massive coincidences in a row in this whole presentation. I mean, I'm proving it. So I'm going to leave it at that. And thankfully, this hasn't been 2 hours. I'm just thankful. So I'm going to leave it at that. And again, if you want to get more information, I'm going to share more things and notifications on things on my videos, if I have any more. I mean, I hope this is finally it in so many ways, but we'll see how this happens. I don't know the future. All I can do is give the breadcrumbs the Lord gives me. He deserves all the credit, the Lord Jesus. I'm just trying to take it all in and put it out for you. And there's so much more I could share on this, but I wanted to make this not super, super long, okay? And there's so much more that adds to all this. With all the things I showed you, I have like 3 to 4 times more. But I tried to hit the biggest stuff and then also keep it within the confines of this idea of these two and their marriage and it's just so sick. Okay, anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. And then also, if you're able to give, please, and link in the description box below for PayPal. We can use it if we're at the end. It's not going to matter really, but we could use any donations. If you haven't considered it before, please consider it. Ask the Lord. That's all I do. It's all I have. 6-member family, 4 kids, and my wife, and this is how we pay the bills and keep the food on the table. So if you're able to give, I really appreciate it. It means so much. There's a PayPal link in the description, and there's also Zelle Pay through my email, or send PO Box, something through PO Box, either one. So thank you so much, everyone who's ever prayed for me. I cover your prayers. I pray for us anytime you feel like it or want to, or thank you so much. Or any positive comments, share this video with everybody far and wide, because most of this stuff for sure is going to happen. Now, when it is, I don't know, but if this happens when I think it's going to happen, this coming month here, and the notorious 9-1-1, I pretty much think I've broken this code, but we'll see. Okay. We'll see, okay? And, time will tell. We should know by 9-1, or by the end of 9-1, for sure, I would think. Definitely by 9-3, because there's nukes going off in Ukraine's. Anyway, look at the list that's pinned at the top of comments of all the events and the date and the dates and everything, if you don't know that already or whatever, and there you go. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. This is Exalted Lamb 1. God bless you. Over and out.